Welcome back to NewsWatch 12. For today's In the Kitchen, we are joined by Rachel Andras, who is going to be teaching us a little bit about how to cook healthy in bulk. And this is something that I think is really important right now as people try to lend a helping hand in the community for fire victims. And I know that that is what you are doing today, bringing a meal to a family nearby, right?
Yes. Hi. We have some friends whose parents lost their home right directly across the street from their home. So they're hosting other families, other people in their homes. And I just thought, gosh, why don't I take one thing off their plate and fix some dinner for tonight? So I've decided to make zucchini lasagna. And as a health coach and as a human and as a mom, a busy mom trying to just kind of figure out this online academy and save our community if I can in my little way or have my part. I like to cook once and eat twice. So tonight I'm cooking for our friends, and then I'm making a little extra for our family too as we keep moving forward in the day. Nothing's better than lasagna. It's a comfort food, but there's some healthier ways to go about it. So zucchini lasagna, let me tell you, if your friends say they don't care for zucchini, don't even tell them what's in it. Just say it's lasagna because they'll never know. It's so delicious, but healthy. So what I've done already this morning is I've made the sauce, which is ground turkey burger. I made it in the Instapot. I've put some crushed tomatoes, garlic, a little bit of water after I drained off the fat from the turkey. And then knowing I'm going to be delivering lots of different meals, this is a really great little vehicle. I picked up a bunch of these the other day. And so I'm going to start by putting a layer of the sauce in this lasagna pan. I'm going to make the next layer, which is cottage cheese. It's about 1.5 cups of cottage cheese. I've got quite a bit. I did power greens here that I've kind of chopped up a little bit. And I'm going to put 2 eggs in. The recipe calls for 1, but like I said, I'm making kind of 1.5 of the recipe. I'm just going to mix this up. So typical lasagna comes with pasta. You either cook the pasta ahead of time or you soak it. But it's here we're going to use zucchini. It's just quality nutrition. It's lower in carbs, but really healthy for you and just delicious. It's important to get your protein, your carbs, all your macronutrients in your body each day. Have you made lasagna before? Do you like eating lasagna?
I do. So I was going to ask you, is that what you're doing right now? So would that be a substitute for ricotta in a typical lasagna?
Exactly. So I'm using cottage cheese, which is a great source of protein, and in place of the ricotta, yes. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my saucepan. I'm going to take a few of my zucchini slices. So I've cut these up already long ways, and I know it was quite a summer for zucchini. Lots of zucchini around these days.
So how thick do people want to do these?
Yeah, so I would say, I think something like this is really great. I would say that's 1/4 of an inch or a little less. That could work out really well. So then we're going to take our ricotta mix, right? We're going to put that as our next layer. Okay, it really is delicious. And I've made it in the Instapot as well, where I start with the sauce and then I kind of tuck the layers in and I just leave it for the day. So you can put that in the crock pot as well. Right now I've got the oven preheated to 400, and then after we get this all compiled together, we're going to cook it for about 30-35 minutes.
So for the sauce that you kind of make ahead of time, is that something that you use fresh tomatoes and kind of puree them, crush them up on your own, or can people use a jarred sauce for that?
So I typically will take diced organic tomatoes. I can put them in the puree, I can put them in the Ninja, puree them up, make more of a sauce. That keeps all the sugars and other things out of it. Then I put some dried basil, oregano, Italian blend, something like that in with it, some fresh garlic. And here I've added I'm going to put another layer of the meat sauce here, but I added a little water because sometimes the meat sauce will dry out. a little bit, you know, and so just with the amount that we use, you could use a can of tomato sauce too. Just watch the sugar and the salt levels with it. That's the tricky part. So that's why I like to make my own. So here I've got another layer of meat sauce. Here I'm going to put another layer of zucchini down. This is just shredded low-fat mozzarella. You could use just regular mozzarella too, but I'm just going to cover that up. I like to put a little fresh parsley, and to kind of brown it a little bit, I will, because I like that kind of browning on the top of the cheese, you know, bubbling over, I will put some Parmesan. And Parmesan's one of those hard cheeses that actually adds a lot of salt to your dish too. But it is, but in a good way, because a little goes a long way, and you can get a lot of great flavor in with the Parmesan. So let me show you what I have here. I've got a huge meal, hopefully for that's going to feed everyone.
Well, that looks good. I mean, just looking at it right now, I would probably dive in with a fork just as is. But how long do you cook it for, and at what temperature do you cook it?
Great. So you want to put your oven to 400, and you want to cook it for about 30-35 minutes, depending on your oven. Just keep checking it. You can take a fork and just like test the zucchini, make sure it's cooked all the way through, and then of course I like having it bubble in on the sides as well. But here you've got this to go.
How long will that stay good for? How long can somebody keep it in the fridge?
Oh goodness. So it will, I would say, for a few days, maybe 3 or 4 days. You know, I can give it to them today, and they may choose to cook it tomorrow, or I'm going to take it cooked actually, just because that's one less thing. And then they can eat off of it for a few days after that. That's what I do. It's wonderful leftover.
Well, it's a really good recipe. It looks delicious, and especially for people that are in need right now in our community, a great way to give them a meal, kind of provide for them and their family, but also keep them eating on the healthier side in the meantime. So thank you, Rachel, for sharing this recipe with us. It looks delicious.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too. We'll see you soon.